Your dog might be falling apart on the inside right now and you have no clue. And you think this is love. This is the safe life. But what's happening inside your dog's body right now, you can't even imagine it. One of the most searched questions on Google and AI right now is what actually happens if you keep a dog indoors its whole life. Researcher Grigg from UC Davis and his team surveyed 386 dog owners. They found that for some dogs, just a normal household noise can spike their stress response by almost 207%. But here's where it gets really uncomfortable, because most owners almost never catch this pain. Vets know about this, but almost nobody tells owners directly. And here's the scary part. A Purdue University extension report says this hidden stress can build up for years and completely change a dog's behavior. If you're someone who walks in from work, glances at your dog and thinks, well, they're lying down, eating, sleeping, so they must be fine. This video is for you. And if you live in an apartment with no yard and you think that makes you a bad owner, this video is for you too. Maybe you leave the house at 8 in the morning and come back at 6 in the evening, and for those 10 hours in between, your dog is alone in that same room. Or maybe you work from home and you think, well, I'm home all day, so they must be totally fine. Either way, the truth isn't that simple, because just being nearby and actually paying attention are two completely different things. I used to think the exact same thing. Actually, no, I didn't even think about it. I just assumed it. Honestly, I can't say for sure this plays out the exact same way for every single dog. Researcher Grigg published these findings in the journal Frontiers in Veterinary Science back in 2021. The study says dogs don't always whine or cry when they're stressed. Sometimes they just lick their lips. Sometimes they lift a paw, like something isn't quite right. Sometimes they go sit quietly in a corner and you think they're just resting. But really they're shutting down, little by little, one day at a time. The Purdue Extension report, written by Garvey, Stella, and Crony, says the exact same thing. Without enrichment, a dog's brain basically starts falling asleep. There's actually a name for this in psychology. It's called learned helplessness. When an animal gets stuck in the same environment over and over and can't find any way to change it, it just stops trying. From the outside, this looks like a calm, well-behaved dog. But it's not really adjusting, it's giving up. Picture a river, one that used to rush down from the mountains fast and strong. Now imagine someone built a dam right at its mouth. The water stops flowing. From above, everything looks calm. But right under that dam, the still water starts to rot, the oxygen drops, and life slowly suffocates. Your dog sitting in that house all day is basically that dammed-up river. The urge to walk is there, but there's no walking. The urge to sniff, the urge to explore something new, it's all there. But inside four walls, none of those urges have anywhere to go. At first, it just looks like a little restlessness, then boredom, then slowly, some kind of depression sets in. And this is exactly where the real problem starts. Think about Dakota, Lori and Charlie's Australian cattle dog, who panicked so badly after being alone for just 2 minutes that she broke through a screen door and ran outside, just to check the bedroom, just to see if her people had actually left. Later, they found out Dakota needed 7 stitches, and the vet bill came out to several $100s. But the real damage wasn't the money. It was what it did to Lori and Charlie, because they never realized Dakota was in that much pain. And that's the scariest part. The dog you love the most is often the one whose pain you notice the least. Torn screens, scratch marks on the door, none of that is bad behavior. It's a sign of a brain where the river got dammed up a long time ago. So now you're probably thinking, easy fix? Just walk them more? Problem solved. If it were only that simple. But here's where the story goes even deeper, because more walks alone don't fix this whole problem. So, is this the owner's fault? Not entirely, because nobody ever taught you how to actually spot this. Big pet companies want you to believe one expensive toy will fix everything. But the real fix doesn't come in a box. So what actually fixes it? Purdue researchers say physical exercise and mental stimulation have to work together, or enrichment just doesn't work. Letting them sniff, letting them search, letting them solve a little problem. Even inside your house, you can build small outlets for these urges. If you live in an American city and you order a pile of new chew toys from Chewy every week and think that covers it, here's the truth. Your dog loses interest in that toy within the first 10 minutes. The real problem isn't the toy, the real problem is boredom. And if you don't deal with it now, that boredom just keeps piling up year after year. Stuff a frozen Kong with peanut butter, and your dog will stay busy licking and thinking for almost 20 minutes. Spread some food across a snuffle mat, and they have to sniff it out before they eat, which wakes up the exact part of their brain that sleeps all day. Set up a tall perch by the window, and they can spend a good chunk of time just watching people and squirrels go by. None of this is expensive. These are just small choices you can make every single day. Look through some Ring camera footage and you'll see it. Most dogs spend most of the day lying in the same spot, no movement, no new smells. And over time, that kind of stillness can lead to obesity, joint problems, and even self-harming habits like excessive licking. This isn't a guess, it's a pattern. And that pattern looks the same in every city, in every apartment. If you're thinking this only happens to big breeds, you're wrong. Small breeds have the exact same urges. They just show up differently. Sometimes through chewing everything in sight, sometimes through non-stop barking. No matter the breed, the river inside is exactly the same. And when cortisol stays high in the body for a long time, the immune system gets weaker. Put simply, a dog stuck in stress all day slowly loses its ability to fight off disease. And you can't see this damage. It won't even show up on an X-ray. It shows up about 5 years down the line when small illnesses suddenly start showing up over and over. Let's go back to that dammed up river. That river doesn't stay blocked forever. One small crack, one new root, one new smell, that's all it takes for the water to start flowing again. A new walking route every day, a snuffle mat in the corner of the room, or even just a 5-minute training game. These all act like small cracks in that dam. And slowly, that still water comes back to life. Your dog will still be in that same room, on that same couch. But on the inside, they won't be a dammed up river anymore. They'll start flowing again, little by little, from the inside out. You'll notice them heading to the window again, tail wagging, nose lifting up at every new smell. These small little moments are exactly what tell you that dammed up river is finally breathing again. This isn't some dramatic transformation. It's a slow, quiet return. Big advertisers will never tell you the fix is this simple, because there's no profit in a simple fix. They want you buying new products, new toys, new subscriptions, over and over again. But the real change comes from 5 minutes of your attention, not from a shopping cart. Now you know something most owners never figure out. A calm-looking dog can still be trapped inside like a dammed-up river. So tell me, does your dog actually love staying home, or have they just adapted because they don't have any other choice? Let us know in the comments, which side are you on?